Oh, oh wow, it's actually his castle. Isn't that great? Shall we make peace with them? I do not see it as being in my current interest to make peace. Well, I'm gonna make you see that with your mask on. Yes, let's do this. Hello Reformers and welcome back to Native, and well, we're gonna be going in against Yerbe Castle's defenses once more, and hopefully thwarting the 43 Vagian knights they have at their disposal. Now, of course, the siege tower is going to take 48 hours, but that will give me an opportunity to talk about what has actually transpired in the past couple of in-game days. Basically, I attempted to besiege elsewhere because I thought to myself, okay, maybe, maybe it's just because this is a siege tower that it's causing us to lose more units than we would otherwise lose, and so I tried to besiege something else. And I actually did take Radegir Castle, as you can see right there, and that was not too bad, and it was okay. I mean, it doesn't, I mean, that's the point. It doesn't really matter whether it's a siege tower or not, but they just didn't have that many marksmen. And now that we've eliminated a bunch in Yerbe Castle, that should make a great deal of sense to us. However, you may be seeing a couple of messages coming up now, basically saying, hey, this thing's under siege, this thing's under siege, and this thing's under siege. Well, there's a reason for that. There was a defector. Yeah, there was a defector from our faction. I'm actually unsure who it was, because apparently it happened in the previous episode. I had no idea that it happened. And when I loaded this save up today, and I was looking around in the on the world map, I saw that Dacuba and I think 2 castles were under Rodok control, and so I assumed that the person, the perpetrator, decided to defect to the Rodoks, and so I ran down there as quickly as I could, just recruited as many good units as I could get, went into Nara's garrison, just took a look at some of the higher tier units that I could possibly get my hands on, and then we went over and attempted to take Dacuba back, and well, it was alright. I mean, it didn't really take too long to whittle down the garrison because the units in there were not specifically great, because basically I gave whoever it was ownership over that, and they took a long time to garrison it. It only had about, I think it was like 170 or 200 or something like that. I can't actually remember now, but there was not many good units in there either, and it was just a very, very easy siege. And then, hilariously enough, my vassals acted very, very quickly indeed, and they decided that they were going to take the other castles. Although one of them's actually been taken back now, so that's obviously not great. But they did their best. So I guess that's all right. And I actually do have a bow here, so it might make sense for me to use this. I was just kind of busy talking about the events that have transpired, but obviously me getting shot for 25 damage, that's fantastic, isn't it? That's really great. I love that when that happens. Not. So let me just see if I can headshot this fellow and try and eliminate him. Yes, thank you very much, Vagia Marksman. Get killed, please. Thank you. And yeah, so that's basically what has happened. Otherwise, there's a bunch of besieging going on in Rodok territory, and the Rodoks are attempting to basically take back everything that we then take from them, and it's kind of amusing because it's happening in all kinds of different areas of the map, and there's like, I think 3 different castles that are simultaneously under siege all the time. So it's like, oh, Harengoth Castle has come under siege, Atros Castle has come under siege, and Granada Castle has come under siege, and then we take it, and then it just goes around in the same loop again and again. So yeah, it's kind of amusing. It is actually not even that bad for us to have that as a thing that actually happens now, because if we have that happen, it means that most of the vassals of the opponent are going to be very, very busy elsewhere. And while I don't mind fighting vassals, I actually find fighting vassals much more, in my opinion, much more interesting than sieges, because, I mean, you can see here right now the sieges are not going particularly well, because we do have so many Vaegian Knights to fight, and let's face it, Vaegian Knights are not the greatest cavalry, but they're solid enough. They really are solid enough to be able to do the job of defending when they have the advantage of defense. I mean, look at this. There are so many Vaegian Knights here with two-handed axes, just absolutely slaughtering a lot of our units at the forefront of our fighting here. And if we can actually do something to get inside, I think we will probably achieve victory here. I mean, it's about time, isn't it? It really is. Oh, wow, that was close. That was really, really close. I actually thought I was going to die there for a second, but no. I did manage to live. Amazingly enough. They have my favorite Bardiche. You know? That's exactly what it is. They have my favorite Bardiche and they're using it against us. You can see here, however, 55. Wow, we lost 55 just in that one? Are you serious? And then having to, yeah, so Yerbe Castle is one of those. It's definitely one of those. But you can see here that they had, I don't even know, did they have 47 or 57 knights or something like that? And now they only have 21. So building this siege tower shouldn't really be that painful. And we basically have almost a 100% guarantee that the vassals of the Vaegirs are not going to be doing anything, because they're kind of busy. They're kind of busy. We are either having our vassals besiege some of their castles, or they are running around and raiding our villages and things like that. Oh, look at that! There's one of my vassals. I don't know who that is, but good job, you, whoever you are. He has 194 in his army. That's much, much larger than my army, that's for sure. I did lose 19 units, by the way, in that fight, so that was not particularly good. Lord Urubei has been defeated in battle. I actually want to show you the world map after we take Yerbe Castle, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. And I guess I'll see you when the siege tower is moved to the battlements, and I'm going to shoot a couple of people in the face in the meantime. Well, there we have it. I actually did use 25 out of the 30 arrows that I had available, and I got a couple of kills. I actually got, I think, about maybe 8 kills or so. I mean, you can see here that there's actually 9, but I'm not entirely sure if someone of our army actually did get a kill here or there, but that's not too bad, considering we do have a lot of highly armored units against us here, and me doing 21 damage per headshot is obviously pretty detrimental to our efficiency when it comes to actually killing things. But yes, hopefully we'll be able to just get inside here. I mean, that's the point. I think as long as we're able to get inside and not get shot in the face by one of their Vaegian marksmen again, which I think is not going to happen because I think all of their Vaegian marksmen have been killed, but you can see here that their two-handed axes and their bardiches and things like that, they are really causing devastating damage. Really, really good. And that's exactly the reason why I love those bardiches. I love using those. If only, you know, I should really just get a bardiche. Whenever I can, I'm going to try and get a bardiche, and we'll see how I do with that, because personally I feel like it's a really, really awesome weapon. It has that sort of perfect ratio of reach and speed, in my opinion at least. I mean, that's just the kind of thing that I really like. And maybe we'll survive this. I would very much appreciate surviving this. Thank you very much. I'm going to try and shoot this guy. There we go, and there we go. Nice, and that was the last remaining unit, and hilariously enough, it was a marksman. They kind of needed him on the front line. They really did. Anyway, we lost, wow, we still lost a whole bunch of units. Are you serious? Wow, we really are just running in there and absolutely getting massacred for no real reason. But anyway, at least we're able to rescue a whole bunch. And we're not going to take any prisoners either, of course, and we can then move onward. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to give this, I think, to Lord Talbar. I have been giving some extra castles to Lord Akadan, and I think, who was it now? I mean, I stopped by Nara, basically, and we had a whole bunch of unclaimed things because we've been constantly taking things and, you know, not awarding them immediately because they they take it or whatever the case. So let's just give it to Lord Talbar, I guess, and yeah, that's I guess that's fine. I guess that's okay. All right. So there we are. Yerbay Castle has been taken. Now let's take a look. I'm just going to show you what's actually going on with the map right now. So you can see here that Harengoth Castle was taken by one of us. Etrosk Castle was taken back by the Rodox, as well as Grunwalder Castle. Surprising that we're not besieging that again. And there's Yamayed Castle as... oh, that's kind of weird. I thought it was actually under siege right now, but it seems like maybe the Rodox have chased them off. I think Lord Urabay was the fellow that was besieging it, and I think he was defeated in battle, so I guess there was just a Rodok vassal around there that was doing something. And I think that's basically it. Oh yeah, Bardak Castle was taken. I actually took that because there was only like 35 people there. So that was really easy. And I think that's it, actually. I think that is literally it. I mean, the Nords, you can see, literally have nothing left. I mean, they have one very fearsome castle with huge amounts of Huskarls in it, and then they have 2 towns. And that's basically it. So the Nords are very, very close to being eliminated. However, the Rodox, they're a different story. We know how extremely difficult it can be to dislodge the Rodox from their defensive positions. Their spearmen and their sergeants are absolutely fantastic at defending, and then of course they have those sharpshooters that are just capable of doing just insane amounts of damage from long range. Anyway, let's just wait here for some time and see if anyone's going to turn up. I actually wouldn't mind doing a field battle because it would break up the monotony a little bit. I actually have not done a field battle in a huge amount of time. I actually don't know why that is. I really don't. I guess it's just literally because the vassals are all in our territory, running around attempting to raid villages like this, for example. But where is Emirin? Where is Emirin? Where is that? I somehow feel like it's all the way down here somewhere, but maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe it's somewhere else. I should really know most of the names now. But it seems like Mechin's over there. That's actually pretty close by. Maybe I should go over there and see what I can do about getting into a vassal battle. I think that might be kind of fun, because it's been a while since we've actually done a field battle, and we have a whole bunch of Kurgit Lancers, and we have some Swadian Knights. We have 6 of those. So maybe it would be an idea for us to check that out. And who's that? Oh, that's... whoa, Lord Drewley? He has 280? That's... wow, that's very impressive, actually. Huh. I wouldn't have expected him to have that many, but wow, I'm very impressed, Lord Drewley. Good work. And wow, as soon as I leave it, are you serious? Okay, so Yerbay Castle has now been besieged by none other than King Yaroglek himself. That's kind of weird. Oh well, never mind. And the village has obviously been looted already. And there's no vassal in sight. Great. Okay, well, let's go back to Yerbay Castle then, because I guess the best thing we can do... is that the guy? Boyar Tarchius? Wasn't he one of ours? Tarchius? But Boyar, isn't Boyar actually a Vajir title? Has he defected just now? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like he's taken anything with him. That's kind of weird. Oh, okay, well, let's have a look and see how many units. King Yaroglek. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you know what? This is going to be one of those times, literally one of those times where I'm going to be like, nah, you know what? I'm not really gonna take this fight. I think this is a bit too much. I mean, 463, is it too much? I mean, he has 51 Vajir marksmen and 30 Vajir knights. Let's just level up a couple of people and actually see where we stand in terms of our unit composition. Because if we can actually, I mean, look at this. Basically from here, with the exception of maybe the Slave Crusher and the Slave Hunter, we don't really have good infantry. Or basically anything. So from here, like, there's like, what, I don't know, 15 units or 10 units or something like that. So I guess we technically have around 100 units that are actually good. semi-decent. So 4-to-1. That's basically what it is. A little bit more than 4-to-1 in terms of how many units he has in comparison to us. We might do okay. Okay, I'm going to engage him so that maybe we can leave. Oh, he actually... Oh, wow, it's actually his castle. Isn't that great? Shall we make peace with them? I do not see it as being in my current interest to make peace. Well, I'm going to make you see that with your mask on. Yes, let's do this. Let's see if we can actually... oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, as I said, it is basically like 4.5 units to one of ours. And he has double the amounts of units on the battlefield right now. And we have 24 cavalry, and that's it. As well as a handful of archers and infantry, of course. Alright, so we're just going to tell my cavalry just to follow us. And let's get our infantry over here. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm literally going to attack them almost immediately here. I mean, we've got some crossbowmen that are going to obviously be firing away here. And I'm literally just going to go into them right now. That's it. We're literally just going to go straight on in and then see what we can do. I'm just going to tell my cavalry just to charge in, and then we're going to tell our infantry as well. And hopefully we're just going to basically get them into kind of a disarray here. And hopefully try to confuse them about where they should be going and who they should be focusing on and all that sort of thing. And hopefully that's going to mean that we will have a much better time of things. I mean, you can see here that I'm trying to focus on the cavalry and the archers because they are technically the best kind of units the Vaegirs have available. Although the Vaegir infantry are actually showing themselves to be actually extremely good at what they do. But, you know, obviously bear in mind that... Wow, yeah, I actually don't know. I think we might need to leave here because it seems like the Vaegir infantry is doing a fantastic job at dealing with our cavalry, which I have to say is very surprising. Very surprising, actually, because you see there that a Vaegir infantryman had just a regular sword and shield. Just a regular sword and shield, and he was able to do a thrusting attack that dealt 12 damage to me, which is, I mean, a pretty decent amount. I mean, you know, I am wearing pretty good armor, and being able to deal that much damage as a sort of average infantry is not exactly good for us. Okay, so you can see here that we've already eliminated 81. I mean, in terms of ratios, we're doing really well, but in terms of overall numbers and everything, not so much. Not so much. Can you please not kill my horse? Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. And, oh dear. This is, I don't know. I mean, we seem to be doing alright, and we've just received reinforcements. Okay, I was a little bit worried that I might not even receive reinforcements here, because there's just so many enemy units to fight. And obviously, the Vaegir guards. Wow, these Vaegir... Really? The Vaegir infantry are doing this much damage for them? I haven't seen nearly as many Vaegir marksman kills. Maybe that's just because we're harassing them all the time. I guess that literally is the only reason why that would be. Unless we just have shields and we're capable of disrupting their firing and so on and so forth. But basically the only casualties I've seen so far have been caused by Vaegir guards and infantry, with the exception of maybe a couple of their cavalry and stuff like that. But I guess it is literally just because they are given two-handed bardishes and two-handed axes and stuff like that, and I guess that really does make a huge difference to how effective they can be. I mean, yeah, they're going to get cut down by ranged units. You know, they're going to die from ranged units very, very quickly, those Vaegir guards. But their offensive capability is much more surprising than you would think. So I guess that's what we can sort of put it down to, which is pretty crazy in itself. Okay, so I think we are actually going to win this if I survive, of course. Do bear in mind this is native, so there is no battle continuation or anything like that. However, even though I might be able to achieve victory here, that does not assure victory in the future, because obviously I am losing a lot of units here. King Yaroghlek can basically lose another 2 battles and still have enough units to fight us on pretty much even ground. So that is a big deal. And I guess what I'm going to need to do is just go back to Nara and try and get some more units there. I mean, there's actually not that many units in the garrison any further, because I've had to literally go to Nara, and apart from recruiting a whole bunch from the villages along the way, you know, I tend to actually recruit units from Khergit villages mostly because I actually like the Khergit Lancer unit for its easy leveling, basically, because I can level those guys up really, really quickly just with the use of our trainer skill. And yeah, so getting a couple of those is always good. Otherwise, the garrison is pretty bare at the moment. I basically have stripped it of all the sort of medium to high tier units, so I'm going to have to either start supplementing the garrison with other units that I level up and take a little bit more time off screen, which I've already done basically a number of times already, I just don't mention it. But yeah, anyway, that's probably gonna have to be done at some point. I mean, you can see here that the Khergit Lancers are taking a huge amount of damage for us, and even if they don't get kills, they are damage sponges. They're able to have a good amount of mobility, their armor is decent enough, and their stats are pretty alright as well. But you can see here that the ratio is probably not going to hold up here. 74 versus 281. I don't think that's going to happen. Although, we were able to gain another 40. And that's a pretty big number, 40 renown. So I guess I'm just going to have to leave Yabe Castle and maybe... Oh, he's leaving? Whoa, that's crazy. That is really crazy. Unfortunately, for the Rhodoks, they've just lost to Yamied Castle, and we've apparently solidified our borders, which is actually rather nice. Anyway, next time, we're probably not going to be defending against King Yaroghlek, and we're maybe going to try and see if we can target some other castle, or maybe even a town within the Vaegia's territory, or who knows, maybe I'll be defending somewhere. Either way, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.